As part of the Together to Zero programme led by St Helens Chamber, Glass Futures, in partnership with St Helens Council, have delivered 4 sessions to 6 schools and over 100 students in St Helens, with the aim to inspire children and raise career aspirations into STEM and the advanced manufacturing sector. Glass Futures is a not-for-profit research and technology organisation creating the Global Centre of Excellence for Glass in R&D, innovation and training to decarbonise the glass industry and make glass the low-carbon material of choice. Combining both in-class and virtual learning experiences with topics such as history of glass, glass making in St Helens, decarbonisation and recycling, students have not only learned about the wonderful world of glass, but have been introduced to a career in the glass industry and the different opportunities available to them in this sector within their local community.
My name is Grace Babalola and I am Process Engineer with Glass Futures. We've just finished our first session here at Cowley and it's been amazing. We've loved the response of the young people and how they've engaged with the content of what we've shared, learning about glass, learning about the history of glass and St Helens' part in glass making, and I think they've just really learned so much and we're looking forward to the next session.
Very, very interesting. It wasn't what I was expecting, if I'm being honest.
I learned a lot of things I didn't know already.
I found it very interesting. I liked learning about the world and how glass is made, and it's interesting to see how something so simple is so interesting.
My favourite part of the lesson today was learning more about the history of St Helens itself and the production of glass.
With our students, they need a lot of interactive prompts, and I think the tone was spot on and the topic was very interesting for them, and I think they got a lot from that.
I found it really good and knowledgeable. I found it very she told us a lot about how it was made and what the history was. She was a very good at her job, by the way.
Favourite part of the lesson, the quiz bit where we getting to know about some facts about glass.
I liked the quiz and I liked about the history because I didn't know much about it all and that.
It's also a good opportunity for them to seek what careers are possible for them in the future. We have a lot of students who are interested in engineering and hands-on activities, so this is an excellent opportunity for them to see what's out there.
It's been really good to come in as Glass Futures to Cowley and just kind of introduce them to the world of glass, and also the VR integration by VRMT has just allowed them to be able to see what it's like working on a glass plant and giving them the different tasks that they could do, so like putting out a fire or taking temperature, inspection, turning on the ice machine. Those little activities was really engaging for them and they really enjoyed it. So it's just been really amazing to use this different form of learning to introduce them to a new career.
It was good. Yeah, the VR was definitely something new. I've never really done anything like that before.
I found VR quite an interesting experience. I actually got to experience what it was like to work in a factory like that.
I found the VR session amazing. It's all new to me. I'm not a gamer. I've never been on anything like that before, and it was just so realistic and yet so easy to use. I'm not very technical, but I found it quite easy to navigate the system and everything, yeah.
They're absolutely fantastic. I think the children learned an awful lot from it. They were all engaged and enthusiastic, and I think the fact that it's Glass Futures, an external provider, coming in and giving them a different experience was wonderful. It was relevant, some of their family history linked to it, so they could go home and ask some of their parents and carers about the experience and the history of glass within St Helens. Many of them may want to go forward with STEM, science, technology, engineering, maths qualifications, so it's relevant. I thought it was not just engaging, I thought it was challenging as well for them, and asked very some deep questions as well. I thought it was excellent.
I've got involved with Glass Futures on this programme because I think it's how the glass industry in the future is going to retrain its personnel. I was pleasantly surprised how quickly they took to the software and the hand controls, which is something that people usually find quite difficult, so I'm very pleased with that. They seem to very much enjoy it, and actually we're interested in how you make glass bottles, which is very pleasing.
It had like a VR set and like headset and everything, and like you were like, it was like you were working in like a glass factory, so you could do like all the things, like if something got set on fire you could put it out and everything. I didn't think it'd be that fun, but it was alright. I enjoyed it.
It's like you pick up like the glass bottles after they've been made, and they'll like show you a fire, and you've got to like switch everything off and like put the fire out before like you're actually there in the glass place where they made the glass. I've enjoyed it and it was nice.
I learned how to put out a fire in a glass factory. I learned how to make bottles, how to weigh bottles, and how to find faults in bottles.
I think so far the students have really enjoyed the session. I think session one, they've really enjoyed learning about the history of glass making in St Helens, it being their local community. I think they're so excited for today's VR sessions, and they've really enjoyed that, and it's something they've not done before. They've had a great experience today. I think the exposure that we can't give the students in school has been vital, really. You know, having the experience of the virtual reality manufacturing training is something that we could never offer them, and it puts their learning into context. They get to see how health and safety is important in the workplace. They get to see how machinery works in the workplace. They get to see the quality assurance process, and also just how to actually use physical machines.
Seeing the different stages of how glass was made, how they were compressed into a shape.
I like putting out the fire because it was very confusing, but I got the hang of it.
I found the VR very interesting, kind of like interacting with all the different parts of making glass was really fun.
The students have really enjoyed taking part in the programme. They've had loads of fun, they've enjoyed the lessons, especially the VR part as well. I think they've learned quite a lot. They have spoken to me about glass, and we're doing other projects as well that they're bringing glass into as well, so I think it really has been beneficial to them.
In lesson 3, we were looking at glass and the environment. The students learned about the environmental impact of glass production, as well as the importance and benefits of glass recycling. We also got to tell them about Glass Futures and the vision and mission of Glass Futures. We jumped on Google Maps and we were able to see where the site was, and I was able to show them some pictures of the building, and they were just really excited to see what's coming in St Helens. They really enjoyed the interactive part of the lesson because we were able to ask a few questions, and they just bounced ideas and answers, and then we read it out, and it was just really interesting to see their input. We asked about if they recycled at home and why, and we had a few answers: yes, no, they do, but they don't know why. So part of this lesson was just be able to tell them about the importance of recycling and how it's beneficial for the glass industry.
We learned about the future of glass and how it's impacting our environment, and how we can help it, like stop it impacting in a negative way.
In lesson 3, I learnt that they're starting to use they're starting to experiment with different ways to making glass more carbon neutral.
My biggest takeaway is probably to recycle glass, because I've not been doing that, and yeah, I need to do that.
Favourite part of the lesson today was learning about the building that was being built near Saint's ground. It was the Glass Future.
Very intriguing, because we found out that we should be recycling glass for good reasons. So.
I think the students have found it thoroughly enjoyable. I think they've found it interesting, and I think they've learnt a lot from it. Some of the answers I've just been hearing about the necessity to recycle and the reasons behind that. Some of the answers they gave were phenomenal, so I was impressed. I think they found it really interesting.
They've done a couple of sessions around the history of St Helens glass, where it's come from, the future as well, where it's going to, and obviously we've had a VR session where some of the students were involved with a demonstration of how life is like in the industry. Today we've had a tour around the museum. We learnt about all different people that come from St Helens and have made an impact, not just locally but globally also as well. And I think it's given them a sense of something they should be proud of, where they're from and the heritage that is from St Helens. I think it's raised awareness of opportunities for apprenticeships post-16. They've got a bit of an insight. Some of them have said, oh, I'd quite like to go into that. So I think it's opened more doors and options for them. I think they're going to come away with a greater understanding of the glass industry and how it's still going now, how they can still access that through jobs and apprenticeships after they leave. Grace has touched upon that quite a lot in the sessions, and I think they've got a better understanding of the history and the heritage of the town.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much, learning how glass was made.
It was really interesting because it's just to see all the artefacts gone around the world and to see all the prices on it and how valuable that glass can actually be is really interesting. I really enjoyed the Glass Futures project.
I really enjoyed the visit, just getting to look around and learn more out of school. I'm going to take away that St Helens has had such a big impact on the glassmaking industry, and I've learned what we've actually done to make it better for everyone else. It's really opened my eyes to all the different jobs that I could pursue in the glass industry in the future. I've taken away the fact that glass impacts everything and it's everywhere.
Experience has made me consider a career in the glass industry. There's a large amount of things you can do in it. There's so many jobs. It's such a futuristic sector.
Well, obviously all the knowledge of glass, as you could probably see yourself today, they were all very interested in every part of the tour. And who knows, maybe some of them will go into careers involving glass or with Glass Futures or whatever, but yeah, at least they've got all that information. And as I said, the way it was delivered, it wasn't like a school lesson, it was just very enjoyable to be part of.
I have enjoyed the Glass Futures project as a whole, because it's a new thing for me. I've never learned about glass in my life, and yeah, I like experiencing new things, and this has been a good thing to learn.
One thing I've taken away from the Glass Futures project is that there's a lot of different aspects of the glass industry, so you can do different things in it.
So we have just completed the Together to Zero program, where we've gone into 6 schools here in St Helens, and we've gone in as Glass Futures to tell them about the history of glass making in St Helens. We introduced them to the container glass manufacturing process using VR, and we also talked about the environmental impact of glass, and finally we went to the world of glass for a little tour to be able to solidify everything that they've been learning in the classroom and it's just been amazing just engaging with the students, and it's also just wonderful how much they've learned, how much they've taken in, and to just hear them talking about it and actually taking it further into their schools and telling their friends about it, including it in part of the projects that they've done in school. It's just been really, really amazing.
How's it been working with Glass Futures? Just tremendous. So everybody I work with at Glass Futures is so enthusiastic, so knowledgeable, so passionate. That kind of mirrors the passion we have here at the World of Glass, and it's a project that I've enjoyed more than any others. Working with the team at Glass Futures now, it's been really, really brilliant. I would hope going forwards that that's something that we can continue with. I think it's really important that as the next generation understand new developments in glass and the processes, it's also important to touch base with the past, isn't it? And to get a feel for what happened before, and to develop some kind of pride in this town.
I think they open the horizons, really. It's bringing external people in industry into school is a brilliant opportunity for them to be intrigued about what they can achieve in the local community and beyond.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to the Glass Futures team for giving the Outward Academy Haydock students this opportunity and for letting us be involved in the programme, and we really look forward to the future with Glass Futures.
We would just like to say a massive thank you to all the schools that have taken part in this project, and every student as well that's taken part. It's just been a pleasure, you know, working with them and teaching them, and also to the project leads and the teachers that have taken their time to obviously invest in these young people. I think it's such a brilliant thing, and also to the Chamber and the Council that we've also worked with in partnership to do this project, to the World of Glass for having us. It's been a real pleasure. Seeing glass blowing in real life has been really amazing. So we just really want to say thank you from all of us here at Glass Futures for making this project possible.